uncovering the concealed past. For close to 5 millennia, a widely accepted tale has persisted. Pharaoh Khufu commissioned the towering Great Pyramid of Giza to serve as his final resting place. This massive structure, we're told, was completed in a mere 2 decades by legions of laborers armed with nothing more than basic copper tools, ropes, and unyielding willpower. As you can observe, we seem to be removing an abundance of metal debris, yet there's hardly any stone being uncovered. But here's the catch: almost everything you believe about these ancient wonders lacks firm evidence. It's not founded on indisputable proof, but rather on informed speculation, at best. So what if the official story isn't just fragmentary, but deliberately veiled? At the very core of this enigma is a single individual, Dr. Zahi Hawass, arguably the most influential figure in Egyptian archaeology. For years, Hawass has maintained sole authority over all digs, revelations, and historical treasures buried beneath Egypt's desert sands. I'm referring to the sealed gate. Why have you reopened that theory? It's not sealed. It remains open. No, it is sealed. It's not sealed, sir. Well, I shut it, and I'll keep it closed. I'm offering my own version now. I'll take charge. Before any real dialogue even begins, the mere presence of a challenge causes Hawass to withdraw. And here's where things start to seem truly peculiar. Instead of embracing innovative insights and new findings, Hawass has developed a reputation for barring outside investigations and silencing unconventional perspectives, especially those that contradict the carefully curated account he's fought to preserve. Most of what's written about the pyramids is false, he asserts. In numerous archaeological publications? Yes, except for my own. Now, I'm not someone who blindly buys into conspiracies, but it's hard not to wonder, why has Hawass so aggressively opposed certain archaeological missions? Why have research efforts been abruptly halted precisely when potentially revolutionary evidence was coming to light? Are these actions about safeguarding Egypt's cultural legacy, or is there another deeper motive behind the resistance? If you've ever suspected there's more to the pyramids than we've been told, you're not alone. Stay tuned, because what we're about to examine will take us into a realm of mystery that has bewildered scientists, stymied archaeologists, and left historians without explanations. From concealed chambers untouched for thousands of years, to stone-cutting techniques that challenge even modern engineering, the truth about the Great Pyramid may be far stranger, and far more ancient, than conventional Egyptology dares to admit. Can we really believe that this architectural marvel was built using crude chisels, ropes, and wooden sleds, as most experts claim? Or could it have been erected with some form of lost advanced technology that defies our current understanding? And if such technology did exist, then who built this structure, and for what purpose? Tonight, we'll strip away the curtain, challenge the guardians of accepted history, and expose hidden truths lying in plain view. Because sometimes, the most profound secrets of the past aren't forgotten, they're intentionally concealed by those who would rather you never look too closely. The revelations you're about to encounter may completely reshape what you think you know about history. Veil of the Enigma. After the rain ceased, the once lush savanna transformed into an arid expanse resembling the Sahara Desert. Shifting sands carried by the wind buried a statue up to its neck, preserving the figure and subtle signs of water erosion for thousands of years. It may have been reshaped at some point. Undoubtedly, the kings of the 4th dynasty, who constructed the pyramids around 2500 BCE, rediscovered the Sphinx and resculpted its face to resemble their likeness. Pharaoh Khafra did not originally create the Sphinx, he restored it. Yet, despite this explanation being supported by strong scientific evidence and currently standing as the most credible hypothesis, many leading Egyptologists still reject or ignore it. Surprisingly, they have failed to propose many other persuasive alternatives, leaving the captivating mystery of the Sphinx's authentic age unresolved. West's groundbreaking discovery triggered numerous questions. During debates, geologists sided with West, while Egyptologists offered minimal responses to his conclusions. West became an academic's nightmare, an outsider arriving unexpectedly, armed with meticulously researched, logically presented, data-rich arguments that shake foundational beliefs. How do experts respond? By dismissing or ignoring him, hoping the issue will fade away, but it does not. This situation prompts a vital inquiry. Why such resistance to investigating these alternative ideas? Is the hesitation truly about preserving Egypt's heritage, or is it about safeguarding professional status, academic customs, or national pride? If nothing extraordinary lies beneath Egypt's sands, why the persistent secrecy and reluctance to explore further? Perhaps advanced, forgotten technology lies hidden inside the pyramids, technology that could fundamentally change our understanding of ancient cultures and challenge everything we thought we knew about humanity's history. As we delve deeper into this enigma, the revelations may prove far more astonishing and consequential than anticipated. The question of who truly constructed the Great Pyramid becomes even more fascinating when we examine its interior. What lies beneath is far stranger than the familiar stories suggest. We're usually told about only a few chambers, the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, and some connecting corridors. However, recent findings suggest the pyramid conceals far more than historians ever imagined. In the early 1990s, German engineer Rudolf Gantenbrink captured worldwide attention by exploring narrow shafts inside the queen's chamber, previously thought to be purely symbolic and leading nowhere. Using a small robotic camera maneuvered through these tight tunnels, he discovered something extraordinary. A limestone door perfectly fitted inside the passageway, complete with two small copper handles. This Gantenbrink's door instantly fascinated the world. Why is this significant? Metal fittings like these copper handles had never before been found inside the pyramid, implying the door guarded something important. Yet, just as Gantenbrink and his team prepared to investigate beyond it, Egyptian authorities abruptly halted the project without explanation. Nearly a decade later, in 2002, a National Geographic-sponsored team drilled a small hole through this door, only to find another sealed limestone slab behind it. To this day, that second door remains unexplored. Despite numerous requests from researchers worldwide, Egyptian officials continue to deny further investigation. This sudden obstruction at such a critical point raises serious questions. Are officials genuinely concerned about protecting ancient artifacts, or is there something else they wish to conceal? The mystery intensified in 2017 when an international team used cutting-edge muon radiography, an advanced form of cosmic ray scanning, to examine the pyramid's interior without causing damage. Their astonishing discovery: a massive hidden void located just above the Grand Gallery, a chamber large enough to rival all known rooms within the pyramid. Yet, no visible entrance exists, and its purpose remains a complete mystery. Scientists hailed this as one of archaeology's most important discoveries in decades. However, once again, requests for further exploration were repeatedly denied by Egyptian authorities, citing vague safety and preservation concerns. Beyond these secret chambers and blocked passageways, physical evidence inside the pyramid itself challenges traditional explanations. Researchers like engineer Christopher Dunn have thoroughly documented markings and patterns indicative of advanced tooling. Dunn's studies of granite blocks in the king's chamber reveal perfectly drilled holes and precision markings consistent with sophisticated machinery far beyond the capabilities of simple copper chisels. Granite is one of the hardest stones on Earth, and basic ancient tools would quickly dull or break. How, then, could ancient builders achieve such precision thousands of years ago? All these unusual discoveries, secret chambers, mysterious doors, and refined tooling, suggest something extraordinary. Perhaps the pyramid's creators possessed advanced technology or inherited knowledge from a much older civilization now lost to history. Despite these tantalizing possibilities, mainstream archaeology remains cautious, even defensive, about further inquiry. While some caution may be to protect Egypt's heritage from sensational claims, this guarded approach might unintentionally prevent vital truths from emerging, truths buried just beneath our feet. Ultimately, we face several gripping mysteries. What lies behind those sealed limestone doors? What is the purpose of the enormous hidden chamber discovered in 2017? Could uncovering these secrets finally reveal who built the Great Pyramid and how they accomplished such a remarkable feat? Among the many obstacles standing between us and these answers, one man looms large: Dr. Zahi Hawass. His decisions have not only shaped public knowledge of ancient Egypt, but more importantly, influenced what remains hidden. For decades, Hawass has dominated Egyptian archaeology. Charismatic, outspoken, and fiercely protective of Egypt's heritage, he has held powerful roles such as Secretary General of Egypt's Supreme Council of Antiquities and Minister of Antiquities. These positions grant him unparalleled authority over excavation permissions, research approvals, and the public release of discoveries. Yet behind his passionate defense of Egyptian culture lies a rigid and secretive system that consistently blocks researchers challenging established historical narratives. Supporters argue that Hawass simply shields Egypt's priceless heritage from speculative or irresponsible theories. But could there be a darker side? Could Hawass's strict control intentionally suppress truths to preserve comfortable historical narratives, protect professional reputations, academic traditions, or Egypt's national pride? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments below after watching this video. By deciding who may research and what information can be disclosed, Hawass has positioned himself as the ultimate gatekeeper of Egyptian history, potentially silencing discoveries capable of rewriting our understanding of the ancient world. His legacy is complex. On one hand, he has greatly promoted Egyptian culture and boosted Egypt's global profile. On the other hand, his restrictive policies might have inadvertently or deliberately hindered crucial explorations and discoveries, leaving essential truths about ancient Egypt buried beneath the sands. This leads us to a troubling question. Is Dr. Zahi Hawass truly protecting Egypt's heritage or guarding something else, secrets that could rewrite history altogether? Until Egyptian archaeology embraces true transparency, we may never know exactly what lies behind those closely guarded doors. With these questions lingering, let's examine some alternative theories that mainstream archaeology hesitates to discuss. Independent researchers have uncovered compelling evidence challenging the official narrative we have long accepted. Earlier, we mentioned Dr. Robert Schoch's fascinating findings about the Sphinx, suggesting origins far predating conventional timelines and potentially linked to an ancient, forgotten civilization. Building upon this, the lost architects. When most people envision ancient Egypt, they imagine shimmering golden tombs, intricate hieroglyphic carvings, and the iconic Great Pyramid of Giza majestically emerging from the desert sands. For generations, we've been taught that this monumental structure was erected around 2550 BCE by Pharaoh Khufu, serving as a magnificent tomb built by thousands of laborers wielding only rudimentary hand tools. On the surface, this story appears to showcase a remarkable feat of ancient human ingenuity. However, the deeper you investigate, the less convincing this popular narrative becomes. Astonishingly, there is minimal concrete evidence supporting this widely accepted account. In fact, many of our foundational beliefs might rest on uncertain footing. Could it be that we have fundamentally misunderstood who truly constructed the Great Pyramid and how such a phenomenal achievement was accomplished? Consider this intriguing fact. Despite the Great Pyramid's immense historical significance, there are no definitive inscriptions from Khufu's time explicitly claiming he commissioned or built it. Ancient Egyptians meticulously documented nearly every aspect of their existence, from everyday routines to complex religious ceremonies and major royal milestones. Yet, oddly, no clear records remain about the construction of their most extraordinary monument. Archaeologists occasionally point to faint markings and symbols discovered deep within hidden chambers But these findings emerged centuries after the pyramids' initial exploration, casting doubt on their authenticity. After all, just because a name appears associated with a structure does not necessarily mean that individual was its creator. One of the most perplexing contradictions concerns the very purpose of the Great Pyramid. Mainstream Egyptology steadfastly asserts that it was designed as the elaborate tomb of Pharaoh Khufu. Yet, unlike all other known royal Egyptian burial sites, the Great Pyramid lacks inscriptions glorifying Khufu, contains no ornamental artifacts, no lavish burial goods, and most critically, no remains of Khufu himself. If this pyramid truly served as a royal tomb, we would expect to find abundant evidence, treasures, funerary items, inscriptions, typical of Egyptian royal burial customs. None of these have ever been uncovered inside the Great Pyramid. This glaring absence provokes a profound question. Could the pyramid's actual purpose have been something entirely different, perhaps far more complex or functional than historians have traditionally believed? An even greater enigma lies in the pyramid's breathtaking precision and architectural complexity. Modern architects and engineers remain amazed by how flawlessly the Great Pyramid is aligned with true north, accurate to fractions of a single degree. Within its walls, colossal granite blocks weighing up to 80 tons each display clear signs of advanced machining and meticulous drilling techniques that surpass what historians assume ancient Egyptians could achieve using only basic copper tools. Engineer Christopher Dunn has examined these granite stones in detail, noting perfectly cylindrical drill cores and extraordinarily precise cuts, features that would be nearly impossible to replicate with primitive methods. Recent attempts by contemporary researchers to reproduce these cuts with copper chisels have ended in failure. Their tools quickly became blunt and ineffective, resulting in minimal progress even after days of continuous labor. This raises a crucial question. If even today's technology struggles to accomplish such tasks, how could ancient Egyptians have achieved such extraordinary precision thousands of years ago? Now, Dennis, do you anticipate any progress on this front during our lifetime? Yes, if you were to return in an hour, you would notice a roughly 4 mm subsidence into the dome. Another baffling detail emerges from the pyramid's intricate maze of passageways and chambers. To build such complex interior spaces, workers would have required dependable light sources for clear visibility and safe navigation. Traditionally, historians propose that torches or oil lamps served this purpose. Yet examinations of these confined spaces reveal no traces of soot, smoke residue, or scorch marks on ceilings or walls, marks that would be inevitable if conventional lighting methods were used. This surprising absence challenges the accepted explanation and invites intriguing questions. Did the pyramid builders have access to some form of advanced lighting technology, or does this suggest an entirely different construction method altogether? These findings open the door to a fascinating possibility. The original pyramid creators may have possessed knowledge or technology far more advanced than what mainstream historians currently acknowledge. However, rather than openly entertaining these theories, mainstream archaeology, especially under the influence of Dr. Zahi Hawass, has vigorously defended the traditional historical narrative. Independent scholars like Robert Baubel, who proposed the Orion correlation theory, arguing that the pyramids aligned precisely with Orion's belt as it appeared thousands of years before Khufu, have encountered substantial opposition. Similarly, researchers such as Robert Schoch and John Anthony West uncovered compelling geological evidence of extensive water erosion surrounding the Great Sphinx. West convincingly demonstrated that the unusual weathering patterns at the Sphinx's base resulted from heavy rainfall and flowing water, not wind or sand erosion as most Egyptologists commonly claim. The Sphinx and its surrounding enclosure exhibit distinctly different erosion patterns, featuring smooth, rounded profiles typical of rainwater and torrential downpours. Here lies the mystery. The last time the Sahara Desert experienced enough rainfall to produce this kind of erosion was over 12,000 years ago, right at the close of the last ice age. Even if the Sphinx's face was reshaped due to water damage, the critical question remains: when was there water in this desert? The answer, quite surprisingly, is around 12,000 years ago. This intriguing timeline suggests that the Sphinx could have been constructed by a far older civilization predating ancient Egypt as we understand it. West's theory goes as follows. Long ago, before the Egyptian desert formed, the Giza Plateau was a fertile savanna. At its edge stood a large natural rock outcrop. A group of unknown sculptors took advantage of this prominent feature, carving it into a massive face, perhaps representing a deity or a lion. The Egyptians may have later modified or recarved this pre-existing monument, an ancient relic from a forgotten epoch. Time passed. Changing climatic conditions brought torrential rains, signaling the end of the Ice Age. The heavy rainfall sculpted the lion's shape into what we observe today. Hidden chronicles of ancient genius. One compelling idea is Robert Bauval's extraordinary Orion correlation theory. Bauval observed something remarkable. The three principal pyramids of Giza precisely mirrored the stars of Orion's belt, not as they appeared during Pharaoh Khufu's rule, but aligned exactly with the constellation's position around 10,500 BC, thousands of years earlier than mainstream history acknowledges. This alignment seems far from a mere coincidence. In ancient Egyptian culture, Orion symbolized the god Osiris, the sovereign of the afterlife, resurrection, and the eternal cycle of life and death. If Bauval's theory holds merit, it implies that the pyramid architects possessed a highly advanced knowledge of astronomy, intentionally embedding celestial symbolism into their monuments, insights historians usually claim ancient Egyptians lacked. Taking this concept further, some investigators propose that Egypt's magnificent monuments may actually trace back to a much older lost civilization, one equipped with advanced technology and expertise that far exceed current historical understanding. Engineer Christopher Dunn carefully studied the granite blocks within the Great Pyramid and uncovered evidence of meticulous drilling and precision cutting, marks, and toolwork that primitive copper chisels could never replicate. Granite is an extremely hard stone, and even with today's hand tools, producing the kind of exact cuts Dunn identified would be extraordinarily difficult. Could ancient Egyptians really have achieved such exquisite craftsmanship with rudimentary implements? Or were they aided by technologies inherited from a far more advanced civilization? Another perplexing contradiction involves how these enormous granite blocks, some weighing up to 80 tons, were transported to the pyramid site from quarries located over 500 meters away on the Giza Plateau. Mainstream historians have yet to offer a convincing explanation for how these colossal stones were moved such great distances without wheels or sophisticated machinery. Even in modern times, relocating stones of this magnitude demands heavy equipment, specialized vehicles, and detailed logistics. This glaring gap in conventional explanations invites a key question. How could ancient builders have accomplished what remains a significant engineering challenge even for today's experts? Expanding on this notion, Graham Hancock suggests there was once a globally advanced civilization that has since vanished due to catastrophic events or slow decline. Hancock highlights archaeological sites worldwide, especially Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, a monumental temple complex dating back roughly 12,000 years, as proof of this lost culture. He argues that the sophisticated knowledge possessed by these ancient people wasn't completely erased but partially survived and eventually influenced early Egyptian civilization. Researchers like John Anthony West and Dr. Robert Schoch share similar perspectives, positing that Egyptian architectural, astronomical, and mathematical brilliance did not emerge spontaneously but was inherited from an earlier culture. This might explain why ancient Egyptian society appears suddenly developed and remarkably sophisticated, rather than evolving gradually. Though mainstream Egyptology often dismisses such theories as unlikely or impossible, mounting evidence increasingly challenges that stance. Consider, for example, the enigmatic Osirian temple at Abydos. Built from massive granite blocks, this structure exhibits advanced precision and craftsmanship akin to what is seen inside the Great Pyramid, skills supposedly beyond the capabilities of early Egyptians. Likewise, the huge granite boxes at Saqqara display extraordinary accuracy that would challenge even the finest modern machinery, let alone Bronze Age tools. These extraordinary discoveries seriously question the accepted historical narrative about ancient Egypt, suggesting hidden depths of history still waiting to be uncovered. Is it conceivable that mainstream archaeology has overlooked, or even deliberately ignored, evidence pointing to a far older, highly advanced civilization responsible for Egypt's iconic monuments? If so, who exactly were these mysterious builders, and how did they acquire knowledge and technology so far ahead of their time? Examining all available evidence, the puzzling absence of inscriptions directly linking Pharaoh Khufu to the Great Pyramid, the remarkably precise stonework that surpasses what simple tools should produce, sealed chambers yet to be explored, and hints of a much older origin, we are compelled to question the official historical account we have long accepted. These captivating findings imply that the pyramid constructors likely possessed knowledge and techniques far more advanced than mainstream history credits them with. Although this notion may initially seem surprising, each new discovery makes it increasingly plausible. But if these ideas hold such allure, why does mainstream archaeology hesitate to investigate them fully? One reason is that acknowledging an older, more advanced civilization would demand a profound rewriting of history as we know it. Historians, archaeologists, and even entire nations have built identities and reputations on the traditional timeline. By resisting deeper investigation into hidden chambers, ancient technologies, and alternative historical narratives, mainstream archaeology may unintentionally be keeping essential truths buried beneath the desert sands. Imagine if definitive proof of an advanced, forgotten civilization were uncovered beneath Egypt's desert. Such a revelation would not only transform our understanding of Egypt, but also fundamentally alter our entire perspective on human history, challenging everything we thought we knew about our ancestors and their remarkable achievements. For more enigmatic tales of ancient wonders, be sure to explore our other videos and subscribe to join us as we continue to uncover the incredible stories history still holds. Thanks for watching, and as always, until next time.